Dr. Yolanda Ralphie Gonsalves, Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the Honorable Carlos James, Minister of Tourism and Culture, Mr. Murray Bullock, Chairman of the National Lotteries Authority, Mr. Ricardo Adams, Chairman of the Carnival Development Corporation, members of the Board of Directors of the CDC, sponsors, Miss SVG 2022, Ms. Jada Ross, contestants taking part in Miss SVG 2023, components, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to the prize giving ceremony for Vincy Mas 2023. Just to note that Vincy Mas 2023 came to an end on Tuesday, July 11th. Today is Monday, August the 21st. We're looking at a 6-week period. And the Carnival Development Corporation, as you're pretty much aware, last time around there was a delay. We had the COVID-19 pandemic, we had the eruption of the Las Freire volcano. As a matter of fact, we had to scale back Vincy Mas 2022. And we all pretty much aware as to what took place in terms of the delay in our prize giving ceremony. And may I say, of course, the last prize giving ceremony was held in January of this year. You know, in August of the said year. I don't know if it's a first, but it's almost within a 7-month period, the Carnival Development Corporation in a position to pay prize monies not just once, but twice. And for that, the CDC must be commended, ladies and gentlemen. Just to let you know that in today's prize giving ceremony, you will not witness our juniors, and that is with the whole matter of Calypso being presented with their prizes. And the reason for that is that took place during the heart of Vincy Mas. It actually took place at our new event called the Carnival Hub at Heritage Square. And we must say thanks to the Dynamite Calypso tent that made the trophies available for that prize giving ceremony. The cash, of course, made available from the Carnival Development Corporation. But the fact that Dynamites came forward to contribute as far as the trophies are concerned, they must be commended. And put your hands together for Dynamites, ladies and gentlemen. All of the prizes quite naturally will be distributed. And without further ado, we're going to get right into the program here this afternoon. And put your hands together. Help me to invite to the podium the chairman of the Carnival Development Corporation, Mr. Ricardo Adams.
Thank you, Brother Denny. Prime Minister, Dr. the Honorable Ralph Gonsalves, Minister of Tourism, Culture, Civil Aviation, and Sustainable Development, Honorable Carlos James, Chairman of the National Lotteries Authority, Mr. Murray Bullock, members of the Public Service, Ms. SVG, members of the Carnival Development Corporation, sponsors, delegates in Ms. SVG 2023, members of the media, components, and Vincy Mas lovers. Good evening and welcome to the prize giving ceremony for Vincy Mas 2023. It is an elating feeling for me to be able to do this early this year. We really had a difficult time last year, and I want to say a particular thank you to the National Lotteries Authority for enabling us to host this in time for persons to be able to take their prizes and ensure that a lot of them use them for children to be able to go back to school in the next couple of weeks. And so again, I want to say thank you very much, and we are very happy to be able to have this ceremony this evening. I want to speak a little bit about Vincy Mas this year, what worked, what we had challenges with, and what we perhaps will review going forward. Let me start with Pan, because we always kind of go Pan Kaimas. So in PAN, I noticed we had a much better build-up for the PAN competition this year. Again, congratulations to Rodney Small and the YPM for hosting the Ivory Soiree, which kind of set the stage as to what PAN was going to be this year. And I think we had a wonderful competition. We had a really exceptional performance from the winning band this year. One of the best, I dare say, one of the best performances of a PAN rendition that I've seen in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And congratulations to them. In the Calypso Soca Arena, and I follow my leader, Kaba, where that is concerned, and that Calypso encompasses all three of the genres. And in the Calypso Soca Arena, we had good tents this year. We had a strong competition in the Calypso area. We had strong competition in the Raga Soca area, and we had strong competition in the Soca area. One of the things we did this year is we split the Raga Soca and the Soca Monarch competitions to enable them to both be shorter events. So we were quite happy to not be in Victoria Park at 7 a.m. on Carnival Sunday morning this year. I know some people miss it because some people like to be rolling in the mud at 7 a.m. But we were happy that we were able to shorten our show as a result of it. One of the things that we need to review is whether the Raga Soca coupled with Evo is the way to go. It was an experiment this year. We've got mixed reviews on it, and we'll see what happens next year. In the Calypso Arena, we had, for the first time in the finals, a father going up against his daughter and his son. And that, again, was an historic moment for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. In the masquerade segment, I noticed the Miss SVG delegates are looking to see if I have my tea stance on. No, I'm not. I'm not in my tea stance this afternoon. In the masquerade segment, we noticed that there were a number of new masqueraders on the streets this year. And that is really powerful for us. And the way I recognize that is I was standing in Victoria Park, and most of the masqueraders coming off stage didn't know whether to turn left or right when they exited the park. And that says that this was the first time that they were crossing the stage in Victoria Park. A number of them, you could hear the foreign accents, but there were a significant number of them who were locals who were crossing the stage for the first time. So it says that the interest in the masquerade is really strong. There are a number of bands there was one of the bands where one of the sections was crossing the stage. And when part of the section was leaving the stage, part of the section was still waiting to come on. So it really says that there's interest in the masquerade. I want to speak to the masqueraders themselves, the mask builders and designers, and say, yes, we love the beautiful costumes, but let's also pay attention to the experience of the masquerader, because more and more, they're wanting to couple that experience with the wonderful costumes that we build. We measure the success of Vincy Mas by a number of factors. And the primary measurement of the success of Vincy Mas for me is always that it is a largely incident-free carnival. And I want to commend, I see the commissioner here this evening, I want to commend the commissioner and his officers for the presence that we felt during Vincy Mas, and as a result of that, the safety of Vincy Mas. There are a number of people who were virtually astounded by the fact that we could come down the road in our costumes. We don't have ropes, we don't have 100 security officers for every 200 masqueraders, and people still had the opportunity to enjoy themselves in a free and festive atmosphere. So I think, again, thank you, Commissioner, for your troops ensuring that we have a wonderful Vincy Mas. The second thing by which we judge Vincy Mas is what do our visitor arrivals look like. And this year, I don't know if there was anybody who was trying to get a hotel room or an Airbnb on the last weekend of Vincy Mas, but it was virtually impossible to find. There were no rooms available in St. Vincent, and to a certain extent, even the Grenadines. So I think that says that some of our marketing efforts are actually bringing in people to enjoy Vincy Mas, and again, that we measured as one of our successes. And thirdly, the private events, which play a very important role in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Vincy Mas, were very well attended. I read an article where it was said that the private events by themselves generated over $4 million in revenue. And so that speaks to the value of the private events. It also speaks to the amount of money that circulates in St. Vincent and the Grenadines during the Vincy Mas period. Because remember, every event, whether it is a CDC or a private event, it requires a sound system, a lighting system, it requires caterers, it requires bartenders, it requires people to do decor, etc. So that money spreads across our economy. So again, it shows that we're increasing the value of the contribution of Vincy Mas to the national economy. Today, we pay out $692,000 in prizes to components of Vincy Mas. And I want to say congratulations to all of the winners and participants in Vincy Mas. And again, thank you, Brother Bullock from the National Lotteries Authority for ensuring that we can do that. In addition, we have secured the following for junior winners in the Mas and Calypso competitions this year. Compliments of Mr. Christian Levering of Seabreeze Villa in Mustique. And the first thing, permit me to step away from the mic 1 second. So we always tend to ignore the schools that send their students forward to participate in the Calypso competitions. So this year, we are going to recognize the schools, and so the schools that provided the 3 winners in the primary schools Calypso, secondary schools Calypso, and Soca Monarch, each of those schools will not only get this wonderful guitar, they will also get a beginner's guitar lessons for the students. So each of the schools this year will be recognized. That we hope will encourage other schools to come forward and participate in the competitions in future. Additionally, we've also secured bursaries to assist with offsetting some of the educational expenses for each of the winners in the primary schools competition, the primary schools Calypso, secondary schools Calypso, Soca, Junior Soca, and the Junior King and Junior Queen of the bands. So each of them will get $250 that we anticipate will be used towards offsetting some of their educational expenses. And we do this because we recognize that a lot of us are not going to be on this carnival stage for much longer. And what we need to do is continue to encourage our youths and encourage our school systems to be involved in the carnival product, because that is where the investment in our future always is. I would like this evening to recognize the delegates from the Miss SVG 2023, which is going to be held in October again this year. I think it was an experiment that worked out pretty well last year, and we're going to do it again this year. And I also want to congratulate Jada Ross, Miss SVG, who just represented us and came first runner-up. That was in Miss Nevis Caribbean Culture, and also to Shadin, I don't think Shadin is there this evening, who also represented us in the JCs in Antigua, and who came second runner-up. So congratulations, and to those delegates, we hope to be saying the same to you next year. Some of you would be representing us overseas. Thank you to all of the sponsors who supported us this year, and in particular, our premium partner, the National Lotteries Authority, without whom this prize giving and much of what we do for Vinci Mas would not be possible. So give it up for the sponsors. We had a number of new sponsors this year. We had a number of returning sponsors. And I just want to kind of warn you that we will be shortly approaching you with our proposals for Vinci Mas 2024. So, a little word on our Entice Carnival store. Notwithstanding the trepidation, I'm happy to say basically all of our carnival materials were sold out this year. And it says that our mass bands are recognizing the value of the investment in that carnival store. So again, we're hoping that we can have the conversations and have the carnival materials brought in early. Because if any of you has done any traveling recently, you know the hell that you have to get through to get into and out of any Caribbean island with the situation that exists now. So again, we're hoping to continue to support the mass fraternity by providing the carnival materials. Promotions for Vinci Mas 24 have already begun. I think you would have passed our banners outside. We've already done some additional materials, some flyers, etc. We had a presence in Barbados, we had a presence in Grenada, we had a presence at Vinci Day in New York yesterday. We have a plan for presence at the Labor Day celebrations coming up in a couple of weeks' time. And of course, you will hear more of Vinci Mas as other carnivals happen and as other festivals happen and as the time goes by. We're really going to be pushing 2024 because I think we have set a wonderful platform on which to launch Vinci Mas for 2024. I want to say, Vinci Mas is we thing. Vinci Mas is not Ricky's thing. It's not Carlos's thing. It's not Ralph's thing. It's not Murray thing. It's not Ashford thing. It's we thing. It's all of ours. We have to embrace it. Because at the end of it, when I leave the stage, and when anybody here leaves the stage, it's still Vinci Mas. It's still Vincentians telling the world that we have a strong culture. We have a warmth and an energy of a people that we have to sell to the world. So let's not fight the CDC and the government, and let's work together to push this thing forward. I just want to say there are some changes that will be coming to some of our programs. There are some changes that will be coming to some of the ways that we do things. But I want to say again to the masked men, give the people the experience, because along with the costumes, they want to be able to have a wonderful time. To the people doing the music, we have fantastic music, but we're choosing to play 8 or 10 songs. We have people coming here and begging us to play Vinci music. Let me think. Our people work hard. Let me play our music. I mean, we're not going to go down the road like other carnivals where CDC is going to put out a notice to say to DJs, well, we have to judge our roadmap, so we want to hear some of our own music. But let me play everything. You understand? All right. To the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, PM, Minister, who are here, we have the cry for prize money increases. We have the cry for a home for mass. And we from the CDC are making a plea for an economic analysis to be done on the benefit of Vinci Mas to the national economy of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, so we can see how much we are contributing as a people loving a culture to our social and economic development. Carnival is a growing festival, and we must continue to grow ours. Because if we don't grow ours, other people around us are growing theirs, and we will be left behind. So let us as Vincentians come together and do what is necessary for us to grow this Vinci Mas product. I want to say thank you again to the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, to the security forces, to the National Lotteries Authority, to all of the members of the components, the people who are producing the media, the private event promoters, and to all of you who are following us, all the components who work together to produce this thing we call Vinci Mas. And I want to say thank you for doing what you did this year. And we look forward to seeing all of you next year for Vinci Mas from June 28th to July 9th, 2024, where we will continue to show the world why we know that Vincy Mas is the hottest carnival in the Caribbean. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairman Ricardo. Let's put your hands together once again for Chairman of the Corporation. And he was just down to give some remarks, but as you noticed, he had quite a lot to share with us here this afternoon. And it's based on the fact that it's not just a walk in the park organizing Carnival here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. There's some of that mindset that's just a matter of putting a couple of things together to get things going, but it takes a lot of work. Producing our shows, and by the way, must take the opportunity to say thanks to the Shows and Marketing Committee of the Carnival Development Corporation, the likes of Rodney Small, Shank Matisse and others who put in a tremendous amount of work to make sure that we put on the shows that we've done for 2023. The chairman spoke about the fact that this afternoon, there are over $692,000 being made available in prize monies. But outside of that, there's a lot more involved in ensuring that there's funding to drive the festival from a national standpoint. And there are several sponsors who've come on board to assist the CDC in 2023. Of course, our partner, the National Lotteries Authority, this afternoon, all $692,000 made available by the NLA. Put your hands together for the NLA. And the buck didn't stop there with the National Lotteries Authority. An input of over $1.2 million in cash. And there's also kind, stage, and other amenities made available by the NLA. So let's hear it for the NLA once again. We must say thanks to Flo, first-time sponsors, First National Bank, and they played a very important role in the show Evo, the coming together of the Raga Soca and Evo, and Caribbean Airlines. Put your hands together for those two first-time sponsors. The St. Vincent Brewery Limited, Perez Distribution, and for the first time this year, we had Hyroon and Caribbean one carnival event straight across the board. Put your hands together for that, ladies and gentlemen. Let's also say thanks to the National Properties Limited. They came forward in a big way. Let's say it for the National Properties. Back to St. Vincent and the Grenadines and East Caribbean group of companies, two other new sponsors. But we're mixing this with a little bit of entertainment. As I told you early on, you will not see the youngsters coming forward to collect their prizes as they already received those prizes. But I want you at this point in time, put your hands together and welcome Junior Calypso Monarch in the primary category, Devine Walters.
hand in hand, we will build this nation. Different lawyers, politicians, notice farmers and musicians. Hand in hand, we will build this nation. Nation builder, let us walk as one. Build this land, build this land, build this land, build this land, build this nation. You complaining that you cannot see no growth. You decide to settle, come out and get the vote. To make up fighting and to achieve progressive. Causing violence to those who disrespect this country. Some stupid because and all they do is cause. Then it be hard to say society getting worse. We have a one to build and dreams to fulfill. So we have absolutely no time to wait and still. Standing up, we shall build that right up to intention. Hand in hand, we will build this nation. Parents, help the children, teachers, do your best to guide them. Hand in hand, we will build this nation. Doctors, lawyers, politicians, nurses, farmers, and musicians. Hand in hand, we will build this nation. Nation builders, let us walk as one. Build the stand, build the stand, build the stand, build the stand, build this nation. We got to live in the shine to be standing test of time. With a strong foundation and ready it up for humankind. Education and surely come, let's go and stone. The next generation will rise to the land of freedom. I go better the government limits and that eruption. No negativity will ever hold us down. We have a country to build and dreams to fulfill. So we have absolutely no time to waste it still. Standing up, we shall build and raise up to be tension. Hand in hand, we will build this nation. Parents, help the children, teachers, do your best to guide them. Hand in hand, we will build this nation. Doctors, lawyers, politicians, nurses, farmers, and musicians. Hand in hand, we will build this nation. Nation builders, let us walk as one. Build the stand, build the stand, build the stand, build the stand, build this nation. Thank you.
Next to Junior Calypso in the primary school category, Devine Walters. And you gotta put your hands together for Sandy B. Not Winwood, put your hands together for Sandy B. You know, this year was one of the better years for Junior Calypso. There was a high level of competition. It was very keen competition in all three categories for that matter. The primary school, the secondary school, and the soca artists. They brought it. They brought the A game on that afternoon at Carnival City Victoria Park. So put your hands together for the youngsters, ladies and gentlemen. Our next speaker, maybe I stole a little bit of his speech, but I know he's quite capable of adding much, much more because the company organization which he represents certainly sends its tentacles throughout the length of Greater St. Vincent and the Grenadines in a big way, in a fantastic way. So put your hands together. Let's welcome to the microphone the chairman of the National Lotteries Authority, Mr. Murray Bullock.
Thank you, Mr. Delhi. Good evening. The Honorable Prime Minister of our Council, the Honorable Minister of Culture, Mr. Carl James, the esteemed Chairman of CBC, Mr. Ricky. Everybody members of the Board of Directors of CBC, distinguished representatives of the Miss SCG contest later on this year, especially Miss Lotto on this. And the Miss Lotto is making the prize-giving ceremony a reality this evening, and I think I have the privilege to ask you, distinguished ladies, to stand and take a bow. So that Miss Lotto and Miss Susan. Once Miss Lotto, always Miss Lotto. Remember, you have to be in it. I want to say congratulations to CBC for effectively presenting to the Vincentian public another highly successful edition of VINCIMAS. That is VINCIMAS 2023. We saw record numbers of persons coming in from overseas. Argyle International Airport was a hive of activity as Vincentians in the diaspora and visitors alike try to get in to be part of VINCIMAS. And it's not Murray Bullock saying so. I'm talking from my interactions with foreigners and from outside of the Caribbean and within the Caribbean. Many Trinidadians who participated in VINCIMAS expressed the view that VINCIMAS is the greatest mass in the Caribbean. And they were even bold enough to say, if Trinidad was not already established, VINCIMAS would have overtaken Trinidad Mass. So I want to congratulate CBC on a job well done. I want to congratulate all the private promoters for their participation on the events that they produce to make VINCIMAS an extremely attractive package. I want to thank the components of VINCIMAS, Pan Mass, Calypso, Soca, Raga Soca, all the components. If I have forgotten any, I apologize. But you have gelled together to make VINCIMAS the outstanding package that it is. And permit me to suggest that the greatest threat if you want to do a SWOT analysis of Vinci Mas, one will realize that its greatest threat is its success. Vinci Mas has been so well presented, so well planned, and so well organized that it has become a victim of its own success because people expect more. Mr. Prime Minister, you will not be foreign to what I'm saying. When you deliver big things, people expect more. And in every aspect of our lives, it is a reality. And the thing is that my humble opinion is that the major problem facing Vinci Mas is that of finance. I believe it is underfunded, and we are on a threshold where we can take Vinci Mas to higher heights, where we can make it hotter, make it greater, attract more visitors to come in and spend more money, and therefore boost our economy. But we have to ensure that we are able to fund those areas. For example, many of the components cannot generate the kind of revenue at the shows. If you were to present shows involving some of the components, then you would find that you would be losing money every time you produce a show. But one doesn't have to look at the commercial aspect of cultural matters. It is our national interest to ensure the preservation of our culture. And where Pan Mas and Calypso is concerned, we have to come up with very creative ways of providing adequate funding for CDC so that they can execute their program effectively. Sometimes maybe some of the legislation just need a little tweaking to ensure that some of the funds generated, let us say, from the private shows, and there are reports that the private shows taxes generated would have amounted to over $4 million. Then we have that was said publicly. Additionally, there's the alcohol tax, and one just have to tweak these measures a little to ensure that a little more funding goes to CDC so that it can execute its program effectively. But that is not for me to do. That is about my pay grade, and I'm sure that the adequate representation would be made to the relevant authority to ensure that something is done. I want to congratulate the Vincentian public for the discipline that they have shown during Vinci Mas. The chairman congratulated the police on their services, and I want to join with him to do that. But I want to go further and to thank the Vincentian public, both the spectators and those who were involved in Mas, in all aspects of Mas, for the disciplined way in which they conducted themselves during Vinci Mas 2022. I want the entire country to take a bow. That is one of the. Sometimes we look at the negatives, and we do not amplify the positives. But I think the behavior and conduct of the Vincentian public during Vinci Mas 2023 was exemplary, and I want to congratulate them. Permit me a little of this opportunity to talk about the National Lottery. When we assumed office at the National Lottery, the sales were just $10 million. Contributions to CDC was less than $75,000 a year. Ashford Woodard, am I telling lies? Okay. Today, this contribution of $700,000 to CDC brings, and I'm afraid, Mr. Denny, your computer was not working too well this evening. Because the matter of the $700,000 is for 2023 expenses. So you have to accrue that to 2023. So you have to add $700,000 to 1.8 million. And that is 2.5 million. And that is only cash. There are other contributions in kind, like the offices at Victoria Park. They pay no electricity. They do not pay for the repairs. So, when you add it up, it would amount to almost $3 million. And I want to thank the Prime Minister and his administration for allowing that. And remember, the National Lottery's contribution is the government's contribution. And the National Lottery cannot make a contribution unless it is approved by the Prime Minister and his administration. So it all goes into the mix. So we can say, okay, you are trying to lobby for a little more contribution and a little more subvention from central government. But always bear in mind that the National Lottery's contribution is a contribution from the government. So, when you are at the close of business this year, our sales would amount very close to $100 million. That is the strides that we have made over the years. That's the strides that we have made over the years from 10 million to 100 million. That is why the National Lottery is in a position to make a contribution of $3 million to citizens. And therefore, I want to take this opportunity to thank, without reservations, the management and staff of the National Lotteries Authority for their dedication and hard work over the years so that we can support education, sport, and culture. I want to thank the Vincentian public for patronizing, for supporting all our games. 3D, Super 6, Play 4, and Lotto, and instant tickets. And we're soon to launch an instant game, an online game. So when you go to the agents and you buy, you know immediately if you win or not. And you get paid immediately. We are also looking at a new game called All or Nothing. All or Nothing. So if you win, if you get all the numbers, you win. If you get none of the numbers, you win. Think about that. So there are no losers. All or nothing. Look out for it sometime in the near future. And I'd like to thank the unstinted public for their support. You know, when you support the National Lottery, you support sports and culture and education. And remember, you have to be in it to win it. Thank you very much.
I noticed the chairman has let the cat out of the bag, but he's in charge of the policies of the National Lotteries Authority. We simply, as staff members, carry out the policy of the board. And let me at this point in time recognize the presence of a gentleman. By the way, come next year, the National Lotteries Authority will be celebrating 40 years in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And for those 40 years, I believe he'll be here with us next year. And he keeps reminding me whenever I go to his office, son, we started a little cubby hole down there by Porton. Look where we are today. Ladies and gentlemen, he's been with us for the past 39 years, counting. Put your hands together for the general manager of the NLA, Mr. Navarro. We have more entertainment to come your way. I note I told you that the juniors were really good this year. This young man was great in the tents. He had a good semi-final. He made it all the way to the Calypso finals, and not the first for a youngster, but his presence this year certainly did a lot and provided somewhat of an incentive to other young Calypsonians that once you come and deliver, you certainly can make it to the big yard. So I want you to put your hands together and welcome Mr. Omani Cupid. Let's welcome him.
Good night, everyone. For a couple of years, I've been told I'm too young to go in this ring. I said no, not at all. You gotta give me my chance to sing. I've been told many times I have years on my side. I gotta keep on coming back, because one day the judges go back. I want my sister win and my daddy sing. We don't be just like them, but my dream of reaching far, it got shattered with just a man. When will it be my time? When will you let this youth shine? Don't tell me no space at the top, and I must keep on fighting back. When will it be my time? When will you let this youth shine? I'm trying to keep my spirit alive. No, I can't let it die. This is a different age and a different space. Open up your mind to change. I get meeting younger ones. I'm trying to be this day. Hey, padam, padam, tin, tam, tin. Hey. I didn't choose Calypso, I can clearly say it chose me. I grew up in a family, I couldn't escape destiny. Some days I just want to be a regular boy like John and Sammy, but the Calypso in my hand, there is no way I'm making 10. When I see Sandy win, I ever sing, I think I'll be just like them. But my dream of reaching far, it got shattered with just a man. When will it be my time? When will you let this youth shine? I'm trying to keep my spirit alive. No, I can't let it die. When will it be my time? When will you let this youth shine? I'm trying to keep my spirit alive. No, I can't let it die. This is a different age and a different space. Open up your mind to change and give me the younger ones a chance on the big stage. Hey, para 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 tilante. Hey. I'm making a plea to you all, to be open-minded and fair. I'm giving my all to this thing, the way I'm not being totally fair. I try in my best to maintain my pride, to be a good ambassador tonight. I give it you calypso at its best. Give me a chance, I have passed the test. When I sit at open, I'm purchasing. I swear I'll be there one day, so don't let 2023 pass. And you don't give this youth a chance. When will it be my time? When will you let this youth shine? You tell me those pains are the top, and I must keep on fighting back. When will it be my time? When will you let this youth shine? I'm trying to keep my spirit alive. No, I can't let it die. This is a different age and a different space. Open up your mind to change and give me the younger ones a chance on the big stage. Thank you.
That's what Junior Calypso Monarch, as far as the secondary school is concerned, and certainly worked some magic in 2023. So let's hear it once again for Omani. Just want to take the opportunity to recognize the presence of two rural queens, Miss North Leeward and Miss North Windward, here with us this evening. Put your hands together. I'm talking all about the rurals. Certainly, they did it in a big way as far as 2023 is concerned. And North Windward, North Leeward, Central Leeward, the St. George's came together. And just recently, of course, we had Can-One sort of culminating things, so to speak. And all of this was organized by our rural coordinator, Mr. Dill Morris. He's also the deputy chair of the Canada Development Corporation. But once again, Dill, ladies and gentlemen, doing some fantastic work in terms of ensuring that the vibe continues in the rural communities. At this point in time, I'd like to introduce to you the Minister of Tourism, Civil Aviation, Sustainable Development, and Culture. He's quite a hands-on minister, maintains a very good relationship with the Canada Development Corporation. Let's welcome the Honorable Carlos James, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Eddie. Good evening to everyone. I want to acknowledge the presence of the Honorable Prime Minister who is here with us today. Also, Permanent Secretary in my ministry, Dr. Risa Noel Barnett, Chairman of the Carnival Development Corporation, Ricky Adams. Also, Chair of the National Lotteries Authority, the hardworking Mark Bullock. And of course, here with us is the General Manager of the National Lotteries Authority, and the CEO of the Carnival Development Corporation, actually somewhere in the back there. And I noted the presence of former Minister of Tourism and Culture, Seth Mackey, is here with us today. I want to welcome him as well. Commissioner of Police, and of course, all of the persons who are here, the winners, members of the meeting. I first want to acknowledge the support and the contribution that all of you as stakeholders you have given to the Carnival Development Corporation, and of course, by extension, the product we call Vincimax. As Ricky said quite rightly when he spoke, Vincimax does not belong to any individual. No one has the rights of ownership to it. Of course, there's a Carnival Development Corporation that is legally the body that is responsible for ensuring that we host the product Vincimax, but it belongs to all of us. And importantly, it belongs to you, the stakeholders, those of you, the various components. Tirelessly, you work every year to ensure that we have a successful Vincimax. And I want you to give yourself a round of applause for that. You have done really well this year. Importantly, I want to acknowledge the many winners, the various categories, and of course, I understand Delroy Fireman Hooper we have to double check the contract, but I'm told that there's a prize for a vehicle. But I understand he's opening a rental company with among the vehicles that he would have bought over the years. I can't picture it as here. But again, a North Leeward man. But we have really seen the evolution of Vincimax. And all of you have played that important role in what the product is today and what it does for a country, what it does for the creative economy here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. When you judge how successful Vincimax was this year, you have to look at the numbers. And in comparison to last year, when you checked at Argyle International Airport, the first 2 weeks or so of July, we had a jump in about 81% of persons arriving in the country. You call the various hotels around that time, they will tell you, well, we are filled to capacity, or we have just a few rooms. In fact, one of the influencers we brought in to cover Vincimax, we had to move from hotel to hotel because the days in which we were hoping to have it booked were already gone, sold. And so you had a challenge booking rooms to mainland St. Vincent during that time. And that shows you an indication of how successful Vincimax 2023 was. And when you look at the further numbers in terms of the private sector, the promoters, the chairman of the NLA indicated, well, it's actually 4 million generated in sales, ticket sales, to the private promoters. And from that, we would have collected about 640,000 in revenue in tax coming from that 4 million. But if we were to collect 4 million in taxes, I would have asked the Prime Minister and the Cabinet to have Vincimax every month. But it shows you an indication of how well we did. And the spill-on effect of that, the many vendors, the manufacturers, those who are producing ice for the private events, and also for CDC events, they couldn't supply it. The sound engineers, lighting, decor, vendors, beverage operators, and so on. All of the vendors during Vincimax will tell you how much work they had to put in order to provide based on the capacity. In fact, some of the private promoters said to me personally, look, we had to, apart from selling tickets, we had to close off some of our events that we were filled the capacity and running over. And they commended CDC for ensuring that this year We tightened the bolts on a lot of things, and we ensured that we had a really good season here in Vincennes. The CDC has oftentimes experienced a lot of criticism. I want to say, without the CDC and without the stakeholders, the same massmen and Calypsonians, which sometimes we don't go to the park and support, without them, they are really the heartbeat of what we call our carnival and the creative sector within the country. And we have to give them more support. It's more than that. Of course, we intend to, having said that, strengthen the CDC. Both from, I understand, we've had the acknowledgement of some members of the board who said, well, they have made their contribution and they are willing to look at giving way to a younger set of persons to come up. And I accepted, having had some conversations, I've accepted that yes, we are willing to strengthen the CDC even at the board level, so we can have a different type of energy coming. Despite all of the hard work that they've done, we have to improve on what they're doing and to ensure that we have a sharper, a more vibrant and dynamic representation on the board in the city. And also the stakeholders who also make up the other sections of the board. We have to look at how we can also strengthen that as well. And we've had persons at that level making a very good contribution, and I want to thank them immensely for their hard work and dedication to nation building and the service that we deliver, especially within culture. It is oftentimes a labor that goes unnoticed, and I want to recognize all of the hard work of the men and women who serve at various levels within the creative sectors. Where do we go from here as CDC, including the components, creative sector, and improving on what we call the creative economy? We have to look at investing a lot more within this sector. And we have acknowledged that. And just recently we went to the Parliament. The Honourable Prime Minister took the lead in negotiating $10 million. It is the largest single project for the creative sector here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, where we'll construct 3 cultural hubs, one in Bellevue, one in Petit-Bodel, and the one in Petit-Bodel, the recording studio which we're going to install there will bear the name Delroy Fireman Hooper. And of course, we put one in Chumuka as well. But we won't just stop there. We intend to also build another cultural hub in Kingston, where we're going to have a lot of land reclaimed, where the existing commercial port is, the new one that we're building. When that commercial port moves further downtown, we'll have a lot of space there in which we will construct a major cultural space for creatives. You're talking about shopping complexes, restaurants, an area where we can have the performing arts. And of course, the cultural hub will feature as a major part of that development. And we are very eager to see the completion of this commercial port, where we can begin the work of building out this cruise terminal, and the creative sector will be a big feature, marine tourism, of course, with our creative arts. And that is something that this government will deliver. On the agenda as well is a home for mass. It is something that we're working assiduously, and we're working closely with the CBI to ensure that we find suitable space. I think we've identified a parcel of land. The galley is here, right? And very soon, and I'm hoping in quick time, Ali, we can put together the resources and we'll work closely with the Prime Minister on that one to ensure we deliver a home for our mass men and women. But in addition to that, and the revenue that you see coming in during Vincy Mass, Lennox, the jury is still out on whether or not it is Vincy Mass or 9 mornings that bring in the most people. But also I want to add to that aspect of our cultural festivals is to introduce again to St. Vincent and the Grenadines in the not too distant future our very own music festival. We have to push to have that as we expand our tourism product. We're going to have a lot more rooms and a lot more airlines that come in, bringing more people to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And the landscape of our cultural sector has to change, not just for visitors, but also for locals, for artisans and our creatives to express themselves and to earn income from this creative economy. So I'm hoping that we can see a music festival here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but also I want to also say in October this year, we will mark our independence, not just from Ms. SCG and the lovely contestants are here, but also we'll be adding a lot more entertainment and cultural activities within our independence calendar to be a big feature to ensure that our creatives are provided with the platform to really benefit from all of the hard work and investment there. I just want to end by encouraging our young creatives. I want you to invest in your craft. Spend time harnessing your talent. Invest in yourself. And we are matching that with these cultural hubs that we're putting in. Recording studios, avenues for platforms for you to launch new skills in pottery and dance and all of the various vocational aspects of the cultural sector will be on full display and available to you for you to harness your full potential within the creative industry. I want you to take the arts very seriously. It is not that we should move in a direction where everyone who leaves an educational institution wants to put on a shirt, a tie, and walk with a briefcase to an office. I want young creatives to understand that we're providing the platform for them to also value the creative sector as a potential avenue for income. And you look at the Skinny Fabulouses and the Problem Child and the Fireman Hoopers who are touring and who are earning in revenue. And the Rodney Smalls and the Darren Andrews. They wouldn't tell you, and Hero wouldn't tell you when you go to Mustique, especially during the New Year's parties that they perform, the kind of bills that they will charge the homeowners and the organizers in those areas. But there are significant opportunities there for you to earn. And I want the business community as well, the financial services sector, those who are involved in loans. When creatives come to you and they have a developed business plan, take them seriously. Let us allow them to invest in themselves, in their product, because this part and this component of our civilization is important so that we remain grounded and holistically balanced as a Vincentian people. And I want to give you the assurance that I will continue to work hard as a Minister of Culture to ensure that we provide the opportunities and the avenues for you as creatives to benefit significantly. And we marry that with the tourism product. And it can only augur well for the future of culture and the future of the arts here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Again, thank you very much for coming out. And thank you to all of you. who are here at this Prize Giving ceremony.
Thank you, Minister James. And mention the whole thing about 9 mornings and Carnival. And I can tell you this year, for Carnival, all the rooms are booked. The mass bands, the oxygens, and the players, and the Blondie Bird sections were sold out. Huge numbers. As the chairman said, a lot of the masqueraders had foreign voices. So take note of that, Mr. Minister. We'll not press forward as far as the whole. You please. Ladies and gentlemen, we have more entertainment to come your way. And I want you to put your hands together and invite the Junior Soca Monarch 2023, DeAndre Simmons.
Good night, everybody. Young King, fully experienced, different thing. If I was preaching evil, then I wouldn't be there to bring the people there. Like no alcohol in my system, no alcohol in my vein, just this sweet song of soca, just running right to my brain. When this sweet music hit you, you moving like you have no head. All inside the graveyard, we waking up the dead, say we want to. Hey, stadium, say we want to. Hey, stadium. I know they don't call me name. How many do they claim? Stadium is not the same. Moving to the Hall of Fame. Experience come with pain. We not coming back again. Humbly I take my share. Today when it's clear we want to. I don't know how we want to. Part of the process so we want to. I don't know how we want to. Stadium, you are my witness. I'm doing this again. Today is a different chapter. I'm turning up the game. If they are bad, you take it to bigger heads. This debate is done. The ground is on my head. Say we want to. Hey, stadium. Say we want to. Hey, stadium. I know they will call me name. How many do they name? Stadium is not the same. Moving to the Hall of Fame. Experience come with pain. We not going back again. Humbly I take my share. Today the way is clear. We want to. I don't know how we want to. Part of the process so we want to. I don't know how we want to. Part of the process so if I was preaching evil, then I wouldn't be there. Thank you, everybody.
Well, I don't know if I wrote that song, Andy Jean. I wrote a lot of stadium inside of that one. But put your hands together for DeAndre, ladies and gentlemen. Our next speaker. Before I actually get to our next speaker, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's important that we put things in their historical context, so to speak. Because in 2001, we had a situation here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines where for Panorama, well, there was no Panorama, as a matter of fact. We had 3 steel orchestras. Prior to the COVID-19 pandemic, we had Junior Panorama with 9 steel bands and Senior Panorama with 7 steel orchestras. That's 16 all told. And throughout the length and breadth of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Pan Against Crime initiative was very much underway. And that is why today, this year, as a matter of fact, you saw Ivy Soiree, but very importantly, we had a situation where a lot of youngsters are now following pan here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And that augurs well for the future of the pan. The CDC, the Carnival Development Corporation, today owns its own canopy, its own stage. There's no move to a situation where we are now fitting things together using trussing, rather than having, as our chairman normally says, the two pieces of old bone and knocking them together. We've moved away from that. That in itself shows you how much the CDC has advanced and developed in terms of ensuring that we have a good presentation at all of our shows, ladies and gentlemen. This all has happened under the guidance of our Prime Minister, who's here with us this evening. And I must mention the work of Mama Culture, Young Lorraine Batiste, of course, Mrs. Cecil Mackey, and now our Minister, Carlos James. Last prize giving ceremony, our Prime Minister was here with us, and may I say, PM, it was certainly a situation where we were all schooled on the acts governing Carnival here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I don't know what his speech is going to entail at this point in time, but he certainly led in a magnificent way. Put your hands together and welcome the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Honorable Dr. Ralph P. Gonzalez.
Mr. Chairman, the Minister of Culture, Carlos James, the head of the CDC, and other members of the leadership of the CDC, Maura Bullock, and other leaders of the National Lottery, all persons in the field of culture and the creative imagination, especially invited guests, and of course, the magnificent ladies of our Caribbean civilization. We're here. You agree with me? They're magnificent. And they're ladies of our Caribbean civilization. I haven't said anything which is untrue there. I said it different than many other people, but it's a fact. I want to congratulate, first of all the creative persons who have been involved in Carnival over the years, and particularly this recent year, those in Mass and Pan and Calypso and Soca, those designers, those who are involved in the matter of the creative arts relating to beautiful women, the designers of one kind or another. Really, I think we have had a magnificent year, and I want to congratulate everyone who has been involved. What we have seen is an outpouring of what is called the genius of the people. Every civilization possesses a genius within their people. It is a complicated phenomenon. Genius is not always easy to understand. And genius can be very idiosyncratic and individualistic, but yet at the same time, Genius can only triumph if we act in solidarity with one another. Very important, solidarity. And then we have to have institutions. We have shared experiences through the fever of history. A society has been shaped, and what we have is this component of our Caribbean civilization, in which we are metaphorically like a symphony. We are the songs of the indigenous people, the Kalinago and the Garifuna. We are the rhythm of Africa. We are the melody of Europe and the chords of Asia, and we're the homegrown lyrics of the Caribbean. And this majestic symphony has come together through the process of creolization. And in that process, biology has played an important role. Because after all, we couldn't be creolized in the manner in which we have been creolized without a little assistance from biology. And this genius which resides helps to shape and is a manifestation of our experiences, our shared experiences. But shared experiences alone cannot produce what we have produced called Canada. The shared experiences must be made manifest in shared expressions, including institutional expressions. Because experiences alone can't carry you. You have to come together and form organizations like the European movement, like the Calypsonian Association, those related to soca and mass. And you have to form the CDC and the National Lottery in order for us, together in solidarity with one another, to deliver certain outcomes from our shared experiences, which are possible only through solidarity and our shared expressions, including institutional expressions. That's the story. It's before you. I'm only a messenger articulating it and have an understanding of these things. And like the Hebrew Bible says, I apply my heart to wisdom. No. The National Lottery existed in 2001. But it was established first in July 1984. Between July 1984 and 2001, it didn't have a structured institutional form. And in 17 years, its gross revenues were only $10 million. But in 22 years, we have moved the gross revenues from $10 million to $100 million. These are the facts. It didn't happen by chance. It didn't happen by accident. Oh, to be sure, the lottery is about a game of chance, but the lottery did not come about by chance. It had to be done deliberately through public policy. The National Lottery was not on a legislative juridical footing. It existed in a cubby hole. Mark, you remember that? Mark is here? Yes. Mark Seeley, yes. Mark could remember that. And I tell those of you, especially those of you who were not born when I became Prime Minister, and there are many of you who were not born when I became Prime Minister. You were born after 2001, aren't you? My dear sister from Sandy Bay. Fine. When I became Prime Minister, you were not yet born. And so many others. That's fine. No. I called in my second week in office. I called McGregor Seeley to come and work for me. And Clem Allen. I called him. Well, first of all, I called Mark before I called Clem. Because we didn't formalize Clem yet. I called Mark. And McGregor Seeley told me that it is the first time in 17 years that any Prime Minister, any Minister of Finance ever asked him to come to talk to him about the National Lottery. No wonder. You have this thing, you start it, and then you clandestine the operation. It ain't going to take you anyway. As Murray Bullock pointed out, was under $75,000 was paid to the CDC to help to run Carnival, or what is called Carnival. No, from them alone, it's $3 million. It's a horse of a different color. And I gave Mark my ideas and sought his ideas. And his daughter, Petrona Seeley, later Petrona Seeley Brown, and René Bassis, no, not that one was René Bassis, with me and Petrona Seeley. We drafted the law. The law you see related to national lotteries. I took time on a weekend with Petrona and drafted the law and took it to Parliament to form the basis, the institutional basis on which you can ground something so it can deliver what it has delivered. And in relation to the CDC, for 30 years, 40 years, everybody was saying the CDC need to have a permanent home. Yes. They used to sing Calypso on it. When CDC will get a permanent home, he will remember it was just a Carnival Development Committee. It did not possess an institutional base. And Petrona Seeley Brown and René and myself, with I-Plain lawyer. And some of you may know I have acquired some skills in that area. And we drafted that law too, and René took that one to Parliament. The law too did not have a headquarters, you know. The Lotto now owns headquarters of over $4 million. That's its value. The Lotto invested in property down at Anglican Annex by the former glove factory. I urged them to buy the property. The property was just sold. to the Port Authority for $8.5 million. They got 50% there. And the reason why I encourage the Port Authority to buy it is because we are building a port of $250 million US, and we need some more elbow room. That's how it happened. Yes, so. But it has to be done in solidarity and with institutional expression. The CDC, though it is a state corporation and it is permanent, the CDC can't just do, the leadership of the CDC can't just do what it wants. It can only do what Parliament says that it can do. It is governed by a law. That is why when one year somebody in CDC said that they could stop somebody from going on the road on Carnival Day, I said, but where you get that authority from? The law incorporated a principle by law, the road make to walk on Carnival Day. The only person who can stop anybody going on the road on Carnival Day is the Commissioner of Police. Not me, not the CDC. That's the man with the power. And he can only do it. He can't act capriciously. He has to act reasonably within the framework of the law. That's how we do things. That's how you have a civilized society. Now, you hear the big number, $100 million with CDC, with the lottery. We have in the lottery a sophisticated technological system which is put in there by the Canadian Bank Road Company of Canada. We have a contract with them. And they get 7-8% of the top as their fees because they help to manage that technological system. So that when you go and you play the lotto, you know that there's no bubble in the result. There's a proper scientific technological system which is predictable in every material particular. Now, and then prize money is between 73-75% of your collections, because you ain't going to play it again unless you have a chance to win and win good money. So at the end, when you pay out for CBN, and CBN incidentally, that's the same company we hire to do the passport, which is one of the finest passports in the world. It's the same company which does Canada's passport, and it's the same company that prints Canadian money. So it's a top-of-the-line company, not a fly-by-night operation. So you have remaining somewhere in the region of 17%, 17 cents out of every dollar. Pay the staff and to give $3 million to CBC. By the way, you see Victoria Park, you wouldn't know it. The way it looked before. We put it in the hands of the National Lottery. And the lottery over the years spent in the region of $6 million. Fixing up the park, the structures, and keeping everything in order and so on and so forth. That's the things which are happening are not happening by accident. They happen through shared experiences, having shared expressions in solidarity with institutional arrangements which are a consequence in part of public policy. Now, I remember the first year when he was Minister of Culture. Remember I said you just know the genius of the people. Sometimes it's very individualistic, idiosyncratic. But it comes together in solidarity. Rennie will have a meeting with the stakeholders. The representatives tell Rennie something. And they're going along. But when the representatives come out and they road on a man, they meet a man in front of the old library. They say, boy, we just agree, so and so and so and so. Fellas, what kind of thing you agree on that thing? What kind of, Diane, we agree that. And then a holds at the bacchanal. She come to me, wants to tear out her hair. She said, I don't want to. I said, listen to me, this thing is called carnival. Don't worry. Everybody go do the thing, but we will come together. Don't fret, don't worry. And the structure of the CDC, though it is a state body, the component parts of Carnival are within the CDC. When you hear some people who have private interests, some who own radio stations that want to make all the money from Carnival. You hear me? When some of those talk about CDC, you give them a chance, they turn Carnival only into one big fete. So mass ain't making money, get rid of it. Steel band ain't making money, get rid of that. You hear what I'm talking about? God give us head to think, you know. And when fool talk, fool must listen. Not fool listen, you know. And some were so arrogant, if they don't get their way, that they think that there will be no carnival without them. But carnival was here before certain people came here. And carnival is here today without those people participating. And it will be there tomorrow and next week and next year and all the succeeding years because it comes from the genius of the people. That's why I think in my contribution today. You wonder if I was good. I go in. I'm a messenger. I'm a messenger. No. You must not therefore get involved in the divisive exercise of which you are part. You are part of the organization of the CDC. You look at the leadership and you look at the membership of the CDC. The component parts are very much represented, and they're represented by good and articulate people. And when people tell me CDC, I say, you think I should be CDC? I should come much answer without the components tell you something. Sometimes we afraid them so much. Ricky was on a program, I had to tell Ricky. Ricky was saying, well, he took his own money and went to Trinidad and he to do work for the CDC. And he was explaining that, and I called in on the radio. And I said, Ricky, it is wrong. If you're going to Trinidad to do work on behalf of CDC, CDC must pay a passage to go to Trinidad, pay a hotel bill to Trinidad, and keep you there while you do the work on behalf of CDC. And don't allow anybody for any radio station or people who want to just pick, including some of the components. No, we have to be mature when we are dealing with this matter. We have come too far to turn back. We come too far to turn back. Much too far to turn back. Now, Carlos told you about the cultural hub, which we are going to build in Bellevue and the 2 satellite hubs in North Leeward, one in Peter Badell and one in Trumbull. Let me tell you, a lot of the value created in the world today comes from this knowledge and art and culture, production of goods too, but also very much of services. And though Beyonce said it in a different context, if you want to keep it, you got to put her in a different context. You think the old man don't know lyrics? No. If you go to Bellevue, the 3 places which are going to be incorporated, the 3 sites which are going to be incorporated with this hub, this cultural, artistic, educational, and production hub. One was an old arrowroot factory, Central Arrowroot Factory. 2, an old banana boxing plant. 3, an old tobacco barn. The arrowroot industry doesn't exist as it existed before for all kinds of reasons. External market reasons and some domestic one relating to labor. Bananas, because doesn't exist anymore because of the European Union arrangements. Move over the subsidies. And tobacco was never a big thing. And it went the way of all flesh. But yet, out of the ashes of those quote-unquote old industries are emerging institutional arrangements and production arrangements to accommodate the creative arts and the creativity of the young people and not so young people in this country, and to create value and to make a living. Same thing on it. And you may say, well, Ralph, what about Kingston? Let me tell you, in Kingston. You see where the old port is in town? Because, you see, there are some people who think you do this thing because of geographic politics. No. You do things with a vision, and you get people to buy into the vision. And because the good Lord has blessed me with longevity in life, and the people have affirmed that, with longevity in office. I have a long view. My view is not short. I have a long view. And we don't have the space yet to build something really special in town. But when we finish the modern port in June 2025, and we move the old port, we have a lot of land there. And when the car boat comes, that car boat will be down the bottom. We'll fill in that area. We will build a cruise ship pier for the very big cruise ships. We will have shops for tourists and for ourselves. And we will have indoor sporting facilities and cultural facilities of the top kind, because we have plenty of space to put it there. You want the vision? That is the vision. And just over the hill is the new city, the modern city of, which is being built up in Annesville. And you will see how that will build out over the next couple of years. Next year, if you think you have had activities this year, let me tell you what's on target for next year. As you know, we are the president currently of, when I say we, I don't mean Ralph, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We hold the presidency of CELAC, the Community of States in Latin America and the Caribbean. In February next year, it is our intention to have the transfer from ourselves to Honduras, will be the new pro tempore president. 33 heads of state and government will be here and their delegations. Could you imagine an event like that, representing 650 million people in Latin America and the Caribbean? I'm pushing sandals to be open for that time. You know the amount of cultural activities which are going to take place and the amount of money cultural artists and others are going to make during that particular period of time, and how that is going to put St. Vincent way up on top of the map. And then in the month of March is National Heroes Month. With March 14th, then we have to make that bigger than ever before. I know Maurice said that anytime you do something big, people want something bigger. Well, it's not always bigger, it's better. Because Beckett has advised something about a small pin. We're talking carnival today, you know. We're talking carnival today. And we have to get the small things right. We gotta get the small things right. We gotta get the small things right. No. So there's March. A lot of people from the United States and from Central America come over. In April, Rotary is holding their regional convocation here. Brian Glasgow has just been elected the regional Rotarian president. They're going to bring between 500 and 700 people here at the time, around April the 20th. April, May is usually, and we have to get the people involved in gospel more than before. We'll do it better than we have done it, and bring people from all about, but even for ourselves, because morning by morning, the mercies we see. All that we need, thy hand has provided, great is thy faithfulness. So we have to put that in the mix. We have applied for the month of June for a Super 8, one of the Super 8 features, sections of World Cup T20 cricket. And we are preparing and we are confident that St. Vincent and the Grenadines may win one of those Super 8s. And we have a costing $12 million US would be required for us to upgrade Arnesvale. And I am setting out to upgrade Arnesvale between now and June and spend that money on it to have the facility to see if we can get our Super 8, one of the Super 8 games. Again, involving sports, linking with culture. And in July, it's Carnival. And August is Emancipation Month. And what we did with the August the 1st competition, the August the 1st concert, we will do again. Only this time, we will have a month which is fully fleshed out. And there are those persons who say we have spent too much money on that magnificent activity, that superb activity, that concert, which everybody says is one of the best concerts they have ever seen anywhere at all. There are some people in this country who know the price of everything and the value of nothing. You hear me? People who know the price of everything and the value of nothing. I am satisfied. That was money well spent to help to hold people together and to lift people higher. The genius of the people was on display. And we did it with ourselves and in communion with our Caribbean brothers and sisters, because we were also going from emancipation to CARICOM at 15. Why must we not celebrate our achievements? The Jewish people celebrated their achievements. The Babylonians celebrated their achievements. The Romans celebrated their achievements. The British celebrate theirs, the Russians, the Chinese. So what happened? We people too. The 54 states of Africa support their achievements. Come on, man. Come on. And then I want to see the month of August run from August the 1st to September the 7th, because September the 7th, we will do the celebration this year for the first year of the African Union CARICOM Day. That is what is designated, September the 7th this year. When the first African Union CARICOM meeting was held, September last year, we designated it. And then October is the month of independence. As I have indicated, I would like to see us, and I give Carlos the challenge as the minister, but he has to work with everybody else. The weekend before independence, well, the whole month is a month where we should be dealing with all cultural matters, including our cuisine. Renee had a dimension of that. That has fallen off somewhat. We have to pick it back up again and lift it higher. And the weekend before independence, which will be the date closest to the 21st of October. The 21st of October is the day in 1935 when the working people and the peasantry of this country rose up against colonialism. And the process of the modern social democratic movement began. That social democratic movement still has unfinished tasks, which we currently trying to complete. And we must celebrate that day. And I want us to see it this year, celebrate it. Saturday the 21st of October and Sunday the 21st, all throughout the country, or in all the communities, we must be playing sports and we must be having cultural events. And ending up on one day with a big cultural event and another day with a big sporting event. The Saturday with a big cultural event and the Sunday with a big sporting event. Because we have to bind us tighter together. And we have to use sports. And we have to use culture. We have been using it. We have to do it much more than ever before. And then, December is 9 Morning and Christmas. And in between, there are various types of festivals that we have and occasions. Indian Arrival Day, other particular days where we celebrate things. We have to be engrossed in life, living, and production. Bliss was it in that dawn to be alive, but to be young was very heaven. These young people here live. Your condition is heavenly. Me? Bliss was it in that dawn to be alive. I am blissful and happy that I'm alive. But you, young, you're in a heavenly condition. And we have to elevate all our young people. We have to elevate all people, but especially the young people. Because without you, our civilization will wither. It will wither. And we need the young men and we need the young women in all the dimensions. And that's why you see me going around talking to each of these young ladies. I was asking each of them, what are they doing and which school they attended. They all went to secondary school and they went to community college. And every single one of them is vying for the #1 because they want a 3-year university scholarship. She tells me she wants to do law. Others want to do different things. But I want to say to every one of you, if you don't win the 3-year scholarship, don't worry. You will get support to go to university once you decide that you're going to go to university. You do your part, the comrade will do his part. You hear me? And as I leave, I say something very special to these young ladies. I said it when Jada then came to visit me and the rest of the cabinet. I should remember. There's a beautiful poem written by a Barbadian who was born in the Dominican Republic. His name is Hilton Vaughn. His parents went there to work in the sugarcane industry. He came back to Barbados, he was educated, he became a lawyer, he was a judge. politician, poet, historian, a Renaissance man, wrote a poem in the 1940s called Revelation. And the poem is about every one of you young ladies here. But the meaning of it is of significance. And I want you to understand the meaning. 50 years ago, you're not going to have a young lady from Sandy Bay or one from Peter Bodell in a competition. You hear me? Nah. There were a small group of middle-class people. And almost every one of them, 50, 60 years ago, Hiram, Vincy White are European. You know, the notion of beauty which existed was one which was Eurocentric. Vaughan used a young Caribbean woman in the 1940s. After the 1930s uprisings in the region, we were seeking to redefine ourselves as a people, as a civilization. And he chose a woman, a young woman, as a synonym, a metaphor for what was magnificent in our civilization. And he contrasted her, compared her quite favorably with what was then the classical notion of beauty. Helen of Troy. Didn't call Helen's name, but he made an allusion in the poem. The face that launches 1,000 ships. And people were talking about the beauty of Greece and Rome. And he looked at this young lady, Caribbean young lady, like you all, it could have been any one of you. Turn sideways now and let them see what loveliness escapes the schools. Then turn again and smile and be the perfect answer to those fools who always prate of Greece and Rome, the face that launch 1,000 ships and such like things. But keep tight lips for burnished beauty nearer home. Turn in the sun, my love, my love. I swear I prize thy dusky limbs about my life. What laughing eyes, what gleaming hair, what palm-like grace. Revelation, that's the name of the poem. Today, the number of Miss Worlds, which come from black, brown, and mixtures in between. I'm not saying that anything is wrong with any other ethnicity, because all ethnicities produce beautiful people, the image and likeness of Almighty God. It's only that there was a different notion then. You have to celebrate what Vaughan has said and what we have seen in the current period. In fact, when before persons were imitating white women, some still do. But you see a lot of white women now putting a lot of things in the lip to pump them up to look like macaron. And some of them put in some injection so that they hope that their future is behind them. You know, look at it. Africa has 1.4 billion people. India has 1.4 billion. Africa's 1.4 billion. Half of it is under 30. And they're moving. And of course, Latin America and the Caribbean, and in North America and Europe, non-Caucasian people. The world is becoming brown now. Not in the way Boju simply said that he wants browning. No. It's becoming as a phenomenon as the world evolves. I wish you all the best. You will notice that my last appointment as a senator is 30 years old. In 2050, Shackle Bob will be 57. I will be 104. I tend to make it there. Shackle is a lawyer. She's 30 years old. She has had many experiences in work. But Shackle took part in 7 beauty shows, including Miss SVG. I'm happy that you have come forward to offer yourself as representatives of the revelation of our civilization. And thank everybody, and good night and God bless.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it once again for Prime Minister Dr. Alvin Salas, delivering the feature address here this evening. Understand that the crowd has really grown on the outside, and to persons on the outside, just to let you know that there's ample space on top of this conference room. As a matter of fact, there is flat screen television there for viewing, so you can occupy the spaces up top of this conference center. Just want to take the time to acknowledge the presence of a gentleman who, in my opinion, has done tremendous service, or given tremendous service to Carnival here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. First as a sound engineer. This year he was back home, did a lot with regards to judging, and based in Barbados, attached to the UWI Keyville campus. Put your hands together, let's welcome Dr. Cleve Scott, present with us here this evening. And as a matter of fact, just to mention, early up in the year, on our way back from Trinidad, we had to pass through Barbados, and we were hosted by Dr. Cleve Scott. He made his home available to us, and Dr. Scott, it was really and truly a tremendous experience sitting in that classroom, myself and Ezzy Roberts, where the topic was all about festivals. And truly, we learned a lot and was able to impart a lot of knowledge to your students, and we thank you very much for that initiative, Dr. Scott. At this point in time, I want to invite a young lady who started, they say short, but she's shorter than me. Started at the CDC, very quiet. She's still fairly quiet, and certainly has grown in the organization herself. She's with us here this evening to deliver the vote of thanks. Put your hands together and welcome Ms. Atia Samuel.
Good evening all. Please allow me to adopt the protocol that has been established. Carnival is integral to our cultural identity. Carnival is integral to our cultural identity. It has the ability to bring Vincentians at home and abroad to celebrate the hottest carnival in the Caribbean in one space. The Board of Directors of the Carnival Development Corporation would like to recognize the hard work and dedication of all involved in the realization of Vincimas 2023, as well as this evening's proceedings. In all things, we must first give thanks to Almighty God for His mercies and blessings, and for allowing us to have an epic Vincymas 2023. I wish to begin my acknowledgements by thanking Mr. Earl Cabot-Bennett for inviting God's presence here this evening. Mr. Kingsley Hero Roberts from the Starlift Steel Orchestra for his beautiful rendition of our national anthem. Mr. Anthony Denny, Chair of the Vincymas Shows Committee, for chairing this evening's events. Mr. Ricardo Adams, Chairman of the CDC, and Mr. Murray Bullock, Chairman of the National Lotteries Authority, for their remarks. The Minister of Tourism, Civil Aviation, Sustainable Development and Culture, Honorable Carlos James, for his remarks. Dr. the Honorable Ralph E. Gonzalez, Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, for the featured address. This year's Junior Calypso and Soca winners, Mr. Ryan Walters, Mr. Omani Cupid, and Mr. DeAndre Simmons, for their beautiful performances here this evening. We wish to recognize and express thanks to our partners, the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, in particular, the Ministry of Tourism, Civil Aviation, Sustainable Development and Culture, the National Lotteries Authority, premium partner of Vincymas, for continuing to be the indispensable factor for our festival. Platinum sponsors Flow, the First National Bank, and Caribbean Airlines Limited. Silver sponsors, St. Vincent Brewery Limited, Curry's Distribution, and the National Properties Limited. Bronze sponsors, the Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the East Caribbean Group of Companies Limited. Other contributors, the National Insurance Services, Agriculture Input Warehouse, Musty Company Limited, St. Vincent Teachers Cooperative Credit Union, General Employees Cooperative Credit Union, Massey Stores Limited, VJs, Computech, Right Stuff, First Citizens Investment Services, the Tourism Authority of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Media houses, Extreme FM, Boom FM, IKTV, Star FM, VFM, SVG Broadcasting Corporation, NBC Radio, BC3, and BDS Nice Radio. We also express our thanks to the components of Vincymas, PANMAS, and CAISO. Your continued contribution and participation guarantee the success of our festival. The subcommittees for your hard work in making Vincymas 2023 a continued success. The Shows and Marketing Committee, as well as the Protocol, Rural, and Technical teams. Thank you to the staff of the Carnival Development Corporation for your unwavering hard work and dedication. Thank you to both the print and electronic media houses for covering Vincymas locally, regionally, and internationally, and to the many volunteers who contributed in one way or another towards the success of the festival, we express our gratitude. We look forward to working with you all for Vincymas 2024 as we continue to plan and execute the hottest carnival in the Caribbean.
And thank you very much, Atia. Ladies and gentlemen, we've now come to that time where we get into the whole matter of the distribution, presentation of prizes and trophies for Vincymas 2023. I'll now invite the chairman of the Carnival Development Corporation, Mr. Ricardo Adams, to assist us with the first set of prizes. And it appears that Prime Minister Dr. Al Gonzalez is leaving us at this point in time. So put your hands together for Prime Minister Gonzalez as he makes his way out. Thank you very much, Prime Minister. The Rural Carnival 2023, Best Organized Rural Carnival goes to the Windward Carnival Committee. And we have Ms. Windward 2023 coming forward to collect on behalf of the Windward Carnival Committee. Best Organized Rural Carnival for 2023, ladies and gentlemen. Most Improved Rural Carnival. And we have Ms. Fleetwood coming forward to accept. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. And I now invite the representative from the East Caribbean Group of Companies, ECGC, to come forward and assist us with the presentation of the next set of prizes. Junior Mass, individuals 5 to 9 years. Mr. Bongale, you can come forward. In third position, from Nelson Block, Portrayal Kaleidoscope of Butterflies, Makeda Irish. Third position, Junior Mass, individuals 5 to 9 years old. Put your hands together for Makeda, ladies and gentlemen. Second position, from the band Blondie Bird and Friends, the Portrayal Peacock, Shade Johnson. And your individual of the year 5 to 9 comes from SVG Players International, the Portrayal Love, Kamara Stapleton. Put the hands together for the youngster, ladies and gentlemen. Junior Mass individual, 10 to 15 years. Third position, from Tribes Mass Band, with the Portrayal The Marketplace, Nakashi Butler. Third place, 10 to 15 years, individuals, the Junior Mass. Second position, from Blondie Bird and Friends, White Tip Brood Wobbler, Maxine Herbert. Put your hands together for Maxine. And that's a representative collected on behalf of Maxine. Yes. And Junior Mass individual 10 to 15 years. The award goes to Isabella Brown from Blondie Bird and Friends of Montreal, Phoenix. Collecting on behalf of Isabella, I presume. Thank you very much, Mr. Bongale. Thank you very much, ECGC. Put the hands together for ECGC. Coming aboard in a big way in 2023. Is there a representative from the Bank of SVG present with us? That not being the case, I'll invite the representative from Caribbean Airlines, Cal. And put your hands to Cal. They came on board in a big way for Vincy Mass 2023. Over $100,000 injected into Vincy Mass this year. All compliments, Cal. Best Junior Section. In fourth position, with the Portrayal Color Arts and Crafts, SVG Players International Mass Band. Fourth position, Best Junior Section. Put your hands together for players. Third position, with their presentation, Love Bird, Blondie Bird and Friends. Best Junior Section, Blondie Bird and Friends, Love Bird. In position number 2, also from Blondie Bird and Friends, the Portrayal Peacock. Let's welcome the Junior Mass creator to come forward and collect. Put the hands together for Blondie. And the Junior Section of the year, Fun and Frolic, SVG Players International Mass Band. We now move to Junior Queen of Carnival, third position, with the Portrayal Amazing Arts and the Crafts from SVG Players International, Mariah Clouden. Second position, the portrayal I Seen Butterfly, Nelson Block, the band, Masquerader, Taraji Alexis. And your junior queen of carnival, with her portrayal Lovebird, Blondie Bird and Friends, the band, the Masquerader, Alasni Niles. Certainly not the last thing coming forward. I will congratulate her nonetheless. And congratulations to Blondie Bird and Friends. Junior King of Carnival, in third position with the portrayal Fun Frolic. SVG Players International, the band, the Masquerader Angus Wynn. Third position, Junior King of Carnival. Second position with the portrayal Butterfly Catcher, Nelson Block, the band, the Masquerader Jamie Stevenson. Put your hands together for Jamie Stevenson. Second position, Junior King of Carnival. And your Junior King of Carnival with King Cobra, Blondie Bird and Friends, Joel Batson. I would say thank you very much, Carl, Urban Airlines. And we now invite a representative from the National Properties to come forward and assist us with the next presentation. National Properties. I saw Mr. James Gibson here a while ago. He's all part of the National Properties. And certainly the National Properties really stepping up this year and making a good contribution to the CDC and to Vinci Mass. Mr. James Gibson, come forward please to present on behalf of the National Properties. And we start first with the Junior Band of the Year. In third position, with the portrayal Papillon, Nelson Block. Third position, Junior Band of the Year, Nelson Block. Second position, with the presentation Players Love, SVG Players International Mass Band. Second position, Junior Band of the Year. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. And your Junior Band of the Year with the presentation Birds of a Feather, Blondie Bird and Friends. Congratulations to Blondie Bird and Friends, Junior Band of the Year. We now move to the Junior Uptown competition. In fourth position, their presentation, Tell It Like It Is, Imagination Mass Band. Imagination from Upside Hill. Go to the big way. Let's congratulate the Imagination Mass Band. I believe this is the band leader coming forward to collect. Third position, the presentation, The Deep, Mirage Productions. Third position, Junior Uptown competition. Anyone here from Mirage? Doesn't appear that way, so we move along. In second position, with the presentation, Players Love, SVG Players International. Ladies and gentlemen, doing the double on the stage and on the road. Birds of a Feather, #1, Blondie Bird and the Friends. Thank you very much, Mr. James. Thank you very much, National Properties. And I now invite Mr. McGregor CB of the National Lotteries Authority to come forward and assist us in the presentation of the next set of prizes. Section of the bands, or section from the bands. In 4th position, with the presentation, Ooh La La, Volin Ralph and the Professionals. 4th position, section from the bands. I know I saw Volin a while ago. But there's a representative coming forward. Third position, sections from the bands. Mass in the Hospital, Block Window Symmetry. Of course, the late Reginald Cornwall, the professor. Imagination Mass Band. In second position, with their presentation, Banana Farmers, Tribes Mass Band. Anyway, nobody tell me the checks. Let's bring all the checks. After. And in the first position, sections from the bands, with the presentation, Ocean Predators, Melbourne Artisans. We now move to Individuals of the Year. And there's a tie for second position. Bowling Round from the Professionals, we salute you. And Joey Batson, Blondie Bird and Friends, King Carborough, tied for second position. I believe that is Blondie Bird coming forward. And we'll be asking a rep from Bowling Round and the Professionals to also come forward to collect their second place trophy. And the Individual of the Year 2023, Steampunk Butterfly, Nelson Block the Band, Chiwali Johnson the Masquerader. This is certainly not Chiwali. Put your hands together for the young lass, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to Chiwali Johnson, Individual of the Year. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Seedy. And I'll now invite a representative from the St. Vincent Electricity Company Limited, VINELEC, to come forward to assist with the next set of presentation. Representative from VINELEC. I simply ask the chairman of the Carnival Development Corporation to come and assist us with the next set of prizes. Junior Pan Fest 2023. In third position, with the rendition of Winston Soso's Hands in the Air, Symphonic Steel Orchestra. Of course, band where the gentleman who's all dealing with the distribution, Jamora Francis, is heavily involved. I believe this is his son. Put your hands together for Symphonics, ladies and gentlemen. Second position, Field Marshals Cocaine Jumbie, the Sign Hill Euphonium Steel Orchestra. Second position, Junior Pan Fest 2023. And your Junior Panorama Champs 2023, They performed Hans John's All I Need, the Hennessy Starlight Steel Orchestra. Put your hands together for Starlight, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to the youngsters. Junior Panorama Champs 2023. Is there a representative from the St. Vincent Brewery present? If not, we'll continue with Chairman Adams. And our next set of prizes, Juve individuals in the third position with the Potrel CDC Loser Screw, the Juve Fanatics, third position. Juve Fanatics. In second position, Dr. Thompson, also the Juve Fanatics. Second and third, Juve Fanatics. And the Juve Individual 2023, the Potrel, the Virus, the Health People. This is a new banner. Put your hands together. New Juve band, the Health People. Next presentation, Juve couple. In third position is War Ukraine versus Bloody Mare, the Juve Fanatics. This is a husband and wife singing. Wife been up here just now. Congratulations to Juve Fanatics. Second position, the Potrel 2 Old Top Fitzhughes. Put your hands together for all the folks from North Leeward coming forward to collect. Juve couple. 2 Old Top. Oh, we see one of the Old Top coming here. Sorry, we see one of the masquerades coming here. Congratulations to you, brother. And your Juve couple 2023 high maintenance woman, the Juve Fanatics. Cecile Lilowitz Murray, Calypsonian, Juve. Claire, congratulations to the Juve Fanatics. Thank you very much, Chairman. And I'll now invite a representative from Careers Distribution. I believe I saw Mr. Jimmy Ford somewhere present with us here this evening. Frank, he might have just made his way on the outside. Is there a representative from Computech present with us? Mr. Michael John, come forward please to assist us. And Computech, they've certainly over the years assisted the CDC with trophies and things of that nature. Put your hands together for Mr. Michael John. Welcome to Computech. So the Juve group in third position with Cucumber in the salad, Fitzhughes. Third position, Juve group, represented from Fitzhughes coming forward. Put your hands together, let's welcome them, ladies and gentlemen. Second position, with their Potrel, the Chook, the Health People. Health People, second position, Juve group. In position number 1, they portrayed Dingole SVG Connect. Dingole. What's good about Juve this year? We're hearing some fresh and new names. So put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Let's congratulate our winners. Queen of Juve. In third position, with the portrayal Kishel Beach. the Juve Fanatics. Keishel Leacher Beach, the Juve Fanatics. Position number 2, Village to Raise Child, also the Juve Fanatics. And Queen of Juve 2023 portrayed Artificial Intelligence, the Juve Fanatics. Thank you very much, Mr. John. And we now invite a representative from Flow. Is there a representative from Flow? We now move to King of Juve. In third position, with the portrayal Sober Reflection, the Juve Fanatics. Mr. Morgan coming forward. Sober Reflection. Second position, with a presentation Horn. You notice it's staying there because it is the Juve Fanatics. Aubrey, face the cameras, please. Second position. Ladies and gentlemen, position number 1, SVG Engine Room. Engine Room, the Juve Fanatics. And let's welcome Mr. Cecil Mackey. Not the kind of engine room that Lola told you talking about. In GIN room. Engine Room. Congratulations to Juve Fanatics. Now move to the traditional bands. In third position with Carnival Flavors, Fitzhughes. Third position, traditional band Juve 2023. Second position with their portrayal, The Virus, The Health People. Second position, traditional bands. And your traditional Juve band 2023 portrayed Hill Le Brio, the Juve Fanatics. Traditional Juve band 2023. And the whole family couple. Congratulations to Juve Fanatics, ladies and gentlemen. Now move to Big Man. In second position, Country Meets Town. Second position, Big Man 2023. And I see Manage coming. Making his way through the door. Put the hands together for Country Meets Town. Second position for Big Man, Juve 2023. Congratulations. And Big Band 2023, Hyrule Paintopia. Hyrule Paintopia. Big Band 2023, number 1 position. The rep present with us. Thank you very much, Flo. This is how we flow, and they've certainly been doing it in a big way for Vincy Mars 2023. I now invite someone from CAM to come forward, assist us with these next prizes. And Caribbean Airlines. All right. We now go to the Queen of the Bands. Queen of the Bands 2023. In third position, with the portrayal Metamorphosis, the band Nelson Block, the masquerader Shanaz Graves. Second position, Golden Ralph and the Professional. The portrayal, St. Vincent, I Thank You, Atika Lockhart. Second position, Queen of the Bands 2023, Atika Lockhart. And your Queen of the Band 2023 came home specifically for this role. Portrayed Lovis, out of SVG Players International, Jenny Blasco. This is not the real Jenny, yeah? This is not the real Jenny. Let us give up for Jenny. But congratulations to Jenny. Congratulations to SVG Players International. Our next set of prizes, we will invite a rep from the National Lotteries Authority. I believe the chairman and the managers on the outside. So, Chairman Adam, you have to give us some assistance here with the presentation of the King of the Bands. In position number 3, from the band Nelson Block, the Montreal Steampunk Butterfly, Masquerader Chiwali Johnson. Nelson Block, Chiwali Johnson. Third position, King of the Bands. And your King of the Bands 2023, Golden Ralph and the Professionals, the Montreal, we salute you. Masquerader, Atiron Lockhart. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your King of the Bands 2023. Put your hands together for Atiron Lockhart. Thank you very much, Chairman Adams. Minister James should have been assisting us with the presentation of the next set of prizes, but unfortunately he's made his way. Oh, Minister James is here with us. Come forward, Minister James. Put your hands together for the Minister of Tourism, Sustainable Development and Culture, the Albert Carlos James. We're hiding in the crowd, I don't know why. We now move to Mardi Gras 2023, Best Use of Color. Position number 3, the presentation, The Good Life, the band, Oxygen Mass SVG. Third position, Best Use of Color. And we have this SVG coming forward to collect on behalf of Oxygen. Third position, The Good Life. In position number 2, with the portrayal, The Deep, Mirage Productions. I don't believe there's any representation from Mirage here this evening, so we now move to position number 1, Best Use of Color. With the presentation, Birds of a Feather. Let's hear it for Blondie Bird and the Friends. Put your hands together for Blondie Bird and Friends. Now move to the Uptown competition. In 4th position, The Good Life, Oxygen Mass SVG. And Ms. Ross, please go forward and collect on behalf of Oxygen. Third position goes to SVG Players International Mass Band, the presentation Players Love. Third position, Uptown Competition. Second position, Uptown Competition Mardi Gras 2023, the presentation The Deep, the band Mirage Productions. Congratulations to Mirage. no presence here this evening, so we now move to the band. Best at Uptown for 2023. The presentation, Birds of a Feather. Let's welcome the man himself, Blondie Bird. Come Blondie, I look like this one. Blondie says suddenly green, says alright. Suddenly green. That's okay. Let's hear from Blondie Bird and friends. Doing the double, both on the stage and uptown. Thank you very much, Minister James. I now re-invite Flo to come forward. And we now move to Mardi Gras, Band of the Year 2023, in 12th position with their presentation, Natural Remedy, Butex International. 12th position, Band of the Year 2023, Butex International. In 11th position, ladies and gentlemen, the presentation, Africa is We, Leeward International Mass Band. Africa is We. And this is how you're supposed to dress when you come in president. Leeward International Mass Band. 10th position, Collection 23, Adrenaline Carnival. Put your hands together for Adrenaline. 10th position, Band of the Year 2023. Position number 9. Tell it like it is, the presentation, the band, Imagination Mass Band. Ladies and gentlemen, in 8th position with the presentation, the Deep Barrage Productions, number 8. 7th position with the presentation, Climate Change Division, Melbourne Artisans. Thank you very much, Flo. This next stop belongs to the National Lotteries, but I invite Ms. Jada Ross, Ms. Lotto 2022, Ms. SUG 2022 to come forward and assist us with the presentation of these next prizes. 6th position, Band of the Year, with the presentation, The Marketplace, the Tribes Mass Band. In 5th position, they presented The Dancing, a tribute to Dr. Alston Beckett Cyrus, Bowling Ralph, and the Professionals. Ladies and gentlemen, in 4th position, The Good Life, Oxygen Mass Band. She presented and collected at the same time. All right? In the 3rd position, Players Love, the presentation, the band, SVG Players International. In 2nd position, with the presentation, Papillon, Nelson Rock. Ladies and gentlemen, the Band of the Year, they present the Birds of a Feather, Blondie Bird and friends, led by one leader, the man himself, Blondie Bird. Congratulations to Blondie Bird and friends. of the year 2023. And the secretary, I think we should find out somewhere inside of that photo. Jada, you can just stick yourself somewhere like that. Congratulations, Blondie. Now, we're still on the whole matter of mass. This next presentation has to do with the matter of the most improved costume band. And that award goes to Berlin Ralph and the Professionals. Most improved costume band. And leader Berlin Ralph coming forward. Of course, this is just the evolution of going around for the Professionals. And thank you very much, Jada. I also understand that Rolly, don't go yet. Rolly has a presentation that she wants to make to Dr. Alston Beckett Cyrus. So I'm asking the ABC to please come forward and accept.
On behalf of our band, Berlin Ralph and the Professionals, we take this opportunity on this occasion of 2023 VCMAS Prize Giving Ceremony to record our sincere thanks and appreciation to Cultural Ambassador Dr. Alston Beckett Cyrus, not only for his great contribution to calypso and soca music over 5 decades, but also for his presence on stage at this year's Mardi Gras with our presentation, We Dancing, a tribute to Dr. Alston Beckett Cyrus. So through this small token, we show our deep gratitude to you for in a big way you have carried our Caribbean music to the world. We thank you and we appreciate you.
Thank you, Berlin Ralph. Thank you, Dr. Alston Beckett Cyrus. Put your hands together for Berlin Ralph and the Professionals. Very good gesture this evening, acknowledging the good work of veteran Calypsonian Dr. Alston Beckett Cyrus. We now invite Minister James to join us once again. And this one has to do with Senior Panorama. These prizes actually were supposed to be presented by Prime Minister Dr. Alvin himself, but he had to leave us early, unfortunately. So Minister James will assist with the presentation for Senior Panorama. In third position, the Symphonic Steel Orchestra. Symphonic Steel Orchestra, third position, Senior Panorama 2023. Second position, the Sangha Euphonium Steel Orchestra. Second position, Senior Panorama 2023. And Senior Panorama Champs 2023, Hennessy Starlift Steel Orchestra. Congratulations to Starlift. Ladies and gentlemen, we now move to the National Calypso Monarch. In position number 4, she performed Butu Blame, Chanel Mackenzie, Butu Blame. Fourth position, Calypso Monarch 2023. Unfortunately, Chanel's mom recently passed, and on behalf of the CDC, I wish to convey our condolences at this point in time. I know that her dad and her brother is here with us this evening. Don't know if they've left already, but congratulations to Chanel McKenzie on taking fourth position for Calypso Monarch 2023, and Mrs. Jean Johnny Findlay will come forward and accept on behalf of Chanel McKenzie. Put your hands together for Chanel McKenzie, ladies and gentlemen. Position number 3, Calypso Monarch 2023, the veteran. He performed The Outside. Calypsonian Glenroy Caesar, the Sule. Position number 3, Calypso Monarch 2023. And a representative coming forward to collect on behalf of Sule. In second position, Calypso Monarch 2023. The song Beat Your Bad with Calypso. Let's hear it for Sheena Collis. Neglect. Well done, the Fire Empress. Congratulations, Mr. Fire Empress. Calypso Monarch 2023. Thank you very much, Minister James. And we now invite a representative from Careers Distribution. Manage, come forward, Careers Distribution. We now move to Monday Band. And the biggest t-shirt band for 2023. In second position, Guinness. Second position, Guinness. I don't believe there's a representative here this evening, so we now move to the most uniformed t-shirt band, and that goes to Flo. Most uniformed t-shirt band, Flo. Put your hands together for Flo, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Manage. And I'll now invite a representative from First National Bank. Representative from First National Bank to assist us with these next awards, these next prizes. Raga Soca Monarch 2023, and the First National Bank became certainly specifically for Raga Soca Monarch, made a tremendous contribution. Put your hands together for First National Bank, ladies and gentlemen. Third position, he performed Saturday the Woman, Delroy Cooper, the Fireman. Third position, Raga Soca Monarch 2023. In second position, with the song Rockouts, Hans John. Hans, I understand, is out of state. But understand, I don't know if you pop the question yet. There's something I have just now. Notice who collected the trophy. Right? And ladies and gentlemen, your Raga Soca Monarch for 2023. Love of Carnival. Let's hear it for Jagged Rouse. JL. First time taking the Raga Soca Monarch title. Put your hands together for the young upcoming artist, Brother JL. Thank you very much, First National. Thank you. Minister James, of Minister. Okay, I'd invite the CDC chairman to come forward and assist us with these presentations. And this is Soca Monarch 2023. In fourth position, they performed Rum Diaries. Short Beats, Double R. Fourth position, Soca Monarch 2023. Out of the Just Bus camp, another young, fresh act on the scene here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Put it together. Sean Beats, Double R. Fourth position, Soca Monarch 2023. In third position, he did for a Spirit of Carnival, Kemi Christopher. Third position. And Christopher, another Christopher, the lady collected on behalf of Kemi. In second position, ladies and gentlemen, Soca Monarch 2023 with the song Farmer. Let's hear it for Cam Haynes, the brother Fly. Another newcomer to the stage, another youngster making the mark on the Soca Monarch stage. Fly. And your Soca Monarch 2023 perform for us Madness, Delroy Hooper, the Fireman. And our final presentation has to do with Road March 2023. In third position, the song Mash Up Barbados. It just don't like a Grenada. It did real wonders in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The brother Spielberg, Headways. A young producer, young artist. And a big up Spielberg. Second position out of the Just Bus camp. The carnival is in the air. Simboy Joseph Gaza. Close. Brother Gaza. Second position, Road March 2023. And Road March 2023, doing the double with Madness, Delroy Hooper, the Fireman. That's what Fireman will look about 15 years old now. And he stops in the second music. Congratulations, of course, to Delroy Hooper, the Fireman. Ladies and gentlemen, with that, we come to the end of this prize giving ceremony. Thank you ever so much for being a part of it.
When using a conventional security camera with